Hello, I'm Alan Committie, and I'm here to talk to you very briefly about the 5G conspiracy theory. There's so much information out there on the internet, but luckily for you, I'm a man who loves his words, and I sometimes think that you can unpack a word and reveal deeper meanings within it. Allow me to explain. I've taken the word conspiracy. Does it tell us a little something about 5G? I think it does. We start with the word con. What is a con? Someone who is cheating you, telling you lies. A con job, a con artist. The con. What is the opposite of con? It is a professional golfer or progress or program. A lot of G's suddenly revealing themselves. How interesting. Or a GoPro is this little camera, isn't it? A G Pro, a GoPro. And so we have a string of G's. Air on G string is a piece of music, isn't it? Air on a G string. Beautiful piece of music. A G string, of course, is also worn by a pro, but that's a different story. Sometimes you pluck on your G string, don't you, on a cold Tuesday, if you're playing a guitar. A guitar. G, and then tar. When you say tar, you say thank you. And a ewe is a young sheep, isn't it? Don't be a sheeple, people. Don't believe everything you hear. They'll pull the wool over your eyes. Now, you've got these lovely appearances of G. Of course, a G string, air on G string, was written by Johann Sebastian Bach, and he was played in the movies by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who would say constantly, "I'll be Bach." And Arnold Schwarzenegger is spelt with a number of G's because of his background. He was Hungarian, hungry. I think he was hungry. He looked like he ate a lot. So we've got a lot of G's there from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, the 7th letter of the alphabet is a G. The 8th letter is an H. If you put H and 8 together, you get hate. And there's a lot of hate on the internet, isn't there? But if you put G and 8 together, you get gate. Bill Gates, who invented Microsoft, which we hate. Little circle of life there. But also Bill Gates, plural. So if you add 7 and 8 together, you get 15. But because it's plural, you multiply it by 2, which gives you 30. But also the S could be a 5. So it's 30 plus 5, which is 35, which is 7 times 5. But we know that 7 is G. So now it's G5. Or reverse it, 5G. Are you starting to see? It's everywhere. And so there we take the next little focus here. Pi, Life of Pi. Wonderful movie. Boy, boat, tiger. Did you see it? I didn't either. But also pi, 22 over 7. And we know 7 is G, so it's 22 over G. Or 2-2. Archbishop, 2-2. Yes. Checkmate. You've got to check your mates. Check on your mates all the time. That's a little helpful advice that doesn't even relate to this. So we've got Life of Pi. Boy, boat, tiger. In Afrikaans, a tiger is a tier. But we're not speaking Afrikaans. We're not allowed to anymore. So now you go from tier to tiger. What do you add? You guessed it. Another G. Another G. Always a G. And then finally, we've got piracy. And what does a pirate say? Of course, a pirate says, arg, arg. And how many G's are there? 5. 5 G's. Do you see the point I'm making? You're probably like me. You go onto the internet because you have a lot of questions about the world and you want some answers. The trouble is, there's a lot of information out there that looks true, that feels true, but simply isn't. Sadly, there's some people who just like to make things up. Whenever I see a piece of news that seems a little too interesting, I ask myself, where's this news coming from? Is it from a viable or reliable source? Are there other news sources reporting it? Are those reliable news sources? And if all the reliable news sources aren't talking about it, then perhaps I need to rethink the whole situation, apply some critical thinking, ask some more questions. The other thing I say is this piece of news going to make one group of people hate another kind of group of people? Is it going to cause another group of people to feel angry or afraid? And if that is true, then I have to ask, is this news, piece of news or information worth sharing? Ask the questions, even when you think that you've been given the answers. Remember, it might not just stop at 5G. And most of you don't have a flip chart available like I do. I get all my answers from my flip chart. You're not that fortunate. So keep thinking. And if you see anything dodgy on the internet, feel free to report it to www.real411.org. Thanks for listening.